All right, so let's go ahead and start on our backs, as we often do. And we'll start with what I like to call just mindfulness, which is today just following the breath. Now, the point in that instruction is not to follow the breath. The point in that instruction is by trying to follow the breath and failing, it tends to increase our awareness of what's going on. So it doesn't really matter who you are, the Dalai Lama, the Buddha, Jesus, the average person, you're only going to be able to follow the breath for so long. So what do you notice when you aren't following the breath? How do you react? How do you feel? What sorts of thoughts pull you away? What sorts of things pull your attention? So again, it's a mindfulness exercise. It's not about following the breath. It's what trying to follow the breath and failing makes us aware of, okay? So what I notice as I do that, I'm just feeling a little bit of upset in my stomach, which is something I've been dealing with this morning. A little bit of anxiousness because of that. So again, nothing show-stopping. I'm just sharing with you what that exercise has helped me become aware of. So now we'll begin to deepen our breathing, and we do that with what's called Dirga. This is in English called three-part or complete yogic breathing. So we inhale belly, ribs, upper chest, exhale, reverse that. And then we layer the Ujjayi, which is the ocean sound at the back of the throat. So again, what you might find is layering those techniques onto the breath has actually shifted or changed how you felt. So for me, again, there was that sort of low-level anxiety there when I first brought my awareness to my breath. As I breathe deeply, I find that that dissipates very quickly and very easily. I also no longer feel the upset in my stomach for the moment. That may return, I don't know, but we'll see. Okay, let's bring the right leg in, and we do this very often to start. This is just cradling the leg, so we're just gently moving it around, waking it up. And again, as an example of what I want you to notice, I feel a little bit of pain and discomfort in the hip, which is actually a little bit surprising. There's more sensation, sharper sensation than I was expecting to feel because I've been feeling very, very good in my body lately. So I'm kind of surprised to find that. As I move around, some of it dissipates, right? And that's what I want to feel, that the movement itself, the deep breathing, begins to bring some relief, okay? And that's exactly what we want to feel. Okay, now we're going to look at the back of the right leg. So the hamstrings, we're going to say hello to them. So you can just take your hand behind the knee and begin to straighten the leg. And we're looking for a little stretch in the back of the right thigh. The left leg can stay straight. You could also put the left leg on the ground. You don't want to hurt your back doing this. Now, walking the hand down the leg toward the foot, and then maybe even grabbing the foot there, you can get a deeper stretch. And again, we're right back here. Now, another alternative is using a strap over the foot. So if you're at home, you don't have a yoga strap, a belt, a tie, a towel, all of those will work as well. Okay, so we're stretching the back of the leg here. We'll just take a few breaths. Give the back of the leg a little bit of time to open up, a few breaths at least. Good, and then releasing that leg, we exhale and just slowly bring it back down again, okay? Good, so feeling both legs, what do you notice? What do you feel? I definitely feel a difference between the two sides. Okay, let's do the other side now. So we bring the left leg in. Again, moving the leg or moving a part of your body is a lot like walking around a new town. So imagine you arrive at a city in Italy, a little town in Italy, and you don't have Google and you don't have a map, and you want to know where everything is. You want to know where the cafe is, where the restaurants are, where the town square is. Well, you need to walk around to get a lay of the land. So moving your body is a lot like that. A lot of times we're relaxed, we're laying down, can't really feel what's going on. So just moving begins to tell us what's going on inside of our body. So again, pretty sensitive, this hip, for whatever reason. I'm not really sure why that is. About the same as the other side. Now let's begin to straighten that leg. And again, we're looking for some stretching in the back of that hamstring. So right back here, if you can see my hand. Okay, and then again, we can intensify that. Now you might not need to, and some of you may not be able to straighten the leg. That's okay. It's okay. You just go till you find that stretch. Again, we want to make sure it's not going into our back. Okay, we want the muscle here to take this stretch. And if we're not careful, the back takes the stretch. And we're not trying to stretch our back right now. Okay, we're trying to stretch this hamstrings. So again, it might be very subtle, but your breathing will affect the stretch. So slow, deep breathing in and out, using the techniques is the best way. Good, and then just releasing the foot with the leg as straight as we can, we exhale and lower it down to meet the other leg. So again, just feeling both legs. Much more balanced now, at least that's what I'm experiencing and feeling. Let's do a little bit of core activation here. So we bring both legs in. Again, we can use that as part of our warm-up. So just a little bit of rocking, circling, moving, just loosen things up a bit. Okay. And then let's do a few rounds of leg lifts. Okay, so we inhale, lift the legs up, and then exhale, gradually lower down. And just before they touch the ground, inhale, extend them back up, and exhale down again. Okay, now if you want to work a little harder, you just keep those legs straight as you lift them back up. Again, get as close as you can to the ground without actually touching the ground. If you begin to shake a little bit, that's a good sign. One of my teachers used to say it's good luck if your body starts to shake. I don't actually think it's good luck, but it's good for you. So again, if your muscles shake a little bit, don't be put off by that. Just let them shake a little bit. Okay, next time we inhale those legs up, let's exhale just about a third of the way down, and we'll hold for a breath or two. And then exhale about a third of the way down, hold. And then about the rest of the way, just hovering above the ground for a moment. Good. Inhale, pop the legs up, and exhale up to seated. Let's come into a tabletop now, so hands and knees, and we'll warm up the spine a bit with some cat-cows. So exhale, tailbone tucks, back rounds, crown of the head down. Inhale, reverse it, and just back and forth, warming up the back. All right, when you're done with that, come back to neutral. Go ahead and tuck those toes, and let's come into a down dog and just pedal out the feet and the toes, the ankles, the knees, the hips. And then coming into the full down dog. So hands shoulder width, fingers spread wide, palms flat. Chest drawing toward the toes, feet hip distance, and heels reaching toward the ground. With the exhale, let's walk our feet toward the hands, coming into a ragdoll. Just gently stretching the back of the body, and then again, a little bit of movement is like walking around the town, right? Again, what's going on? What's going on where? What can I find by moving a little bit? So I feel a little bit of sensitivity in my back, which again, to me is a little surprising because I've been feeling fairly strong and good in my body. So it's interesting that as I start warming up, I find these areas that feel rather vulnerable, sensitive. So again, that'll inform, choices that I make as we practice. Okay, arms relaxed. We inhale and just roll on up. It's very important, I'll mention here, that we realize that the body is very fluid. So it isn't like a rock or a piece of machinery that we should expect to function the same from day to day. It really is quite variable, what we feel, what the body can and can't do. Whereas in our mind, we often have an idea. I should be able to do this. Oh, I can't do that. Ooh, that's too much for me. Again, a lot of this is more mental than it is actually the body telling us anything. So just try and notice those thoughts, again, that show up for you as you practice. If you notice those things coming into your mind, don't be afraid to just question those thoughts from time to time, okay? All right, we're still doing the deep breathing, and now we'll do a few rounds of Surya Namaskar, sun salutation. So inhale, arms up, stretch the front of the body. Exhale, forward fold, stretching the back of the body. Inhale to the half lift, lengthening the spine. Exhale, step the right and then the left foot to the top of a push-up. Make sure your wrists are directly below the shoulders, and the ears, shoulders, hips, knees, and heels are in a straight line. Take a deep breath in, and then exhale, drop the knees and bend the arms. Okay, so you're going to hover above the ground, and your elbows are by your ribs, okay? Take a nice deep breath, and then exhale the rest of the way down. Bring your legs together, press the tops of the feet into the mat, and with the inhale, let's lift the head, hands, chest, and upper abdomen for a stage 1 cobra. Now again, you might find that this isn't a very deep back bend, and yet you might still find it difficult somehow, right? So it doesn't look impressive, and yet we find that we don't like it. We don't like the way it feels. Usually that's because of lack of strength in your back, which is not desirable for your health. You really want a nice strong back. So I would say the harder this is for you to do, the more you're like hating me right now because we're holding this pose, the more you should do this posture to help strengthen your back, okay? Exhale, let's come on down, and we'll press back to a tabletop and then to the downward facing dog. Okay, inhale to your toes, fill the lungs. Exhale, step, jump, float, front edge of the mat. And then we inhale up to standing back bend. Let's grab the right wrist and exhale to half moon, stretching the right side of the body. Inhale through center, and then exhale, stretch the left side of the body. Good, let's inhale back to center, and we'll exhale to forward fold. Inhale to half lift, and then exhale, step the left and then the right to the top of a push-up. Okay, so we're going to do another cobra. This time it's your choice whether your knees are up or down. Okay, take a deep breath, and then just gradually lower down halfway. Take a breath, like we did last time. And then exhale the rest of the way down. Inhale this time, pressing into the hands, lift the head, neck, chest, abdomen, but keep your hips on the ground. So don't do this. Can you guys see me? See how my hips are coming up? Keep the hips on the ground. Just use your back. Okay, we want to see the back flexibility here. So we're using our arms to get a maximum what we call hyperextension in the back, but we're not lifting our hips up because that's not going to do any more for the back here. Good. Exhale, come down, and then you can push up and then back to down dog. You can also go through tabletop if you prefer. All right, let's inhale to the toes, fill the lungs. Exhale, step, jump, float, front edge of the mat. Inhale, standing back bend, up and back. Exhale, stretch the right side. Inhale, center. Exhale, stretch the left. Inhale, center. And exhale, sit into an imaginary seat for chair pose, Utkatasana. So knees back, hips down, arms up and back, face relaxed, breath deep, rhythmic, and slow. Good, let's inhale all the way up and back, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale to half lift, and then exhale, if you can, jump to the bottom of a push-up, arms bent. Inhale, straighten arms and legs, and this time knees are up for up dog. Okay, so the hips are up, the knees are up, and again, we're using those arms to do a deeper back bend. And then exhale, do a push-up if you're able to on your way back to downward facing dog. Okay, so with that one, we never actually touch the ground. Okay, so that one, we just are always hovering above the ground. All right. At this point, we should feel pretty warmed up. Let's bring our feet to touch. We'll inhale the right leg up and back for a three-legged dog pose. This is one we do a lot because it really informs a lot of postures. So we want the legs straight, foot flexed, toes, knee, and hip down. And the leg is straight and lifted, but the hip isn't lifting up, okay? So take a nice deep breath. We're going to exhale and lunge. We drop the back knee and then inhale up into Vinyasa, which is called the low lunge in English. Okay, so my knee is above my heel, my hips are forward and down, and I feel stretch at the front of my left hip. My arms are up. So again, with many of the lunges in yoga, there's a sense of vibrancy, aliveness, and power. And we're being asked to embody this. So you might be like, well, I don't feel that, right? So I'm going to do something like this, okay? This doesn't look very vibrant or powerful, right? It seems kind of weak and lazy and lame, okay? I'm not saying you are those things, but I'm not embodying the posture. I'm not embodying strength, vibrancy, aliveness, openness, right? I'm embodying something like I'm tired, it's Monday, I had a long weekend, right? And yoga is asking us to get out of our personal experience and to embody something greater. So here, even though I might not really be feeling it, I want to embody it. And then the more that I embody it, the more I begin to feel it, okay? All right, exhale those hands down. Inhale the leg up and back. And then exhale to the downward facing dog. Okay, side two. So feet touch. We inhale left leg up and back. Three-legged dog pose. Good. Exhale, lunge. Drop the knee and inhale to low lunge. Now again, try and get the alignment right. So knee under the heel, hips forward and down, arms up and back. And then again, as you hold this shape, when your own personal resistance comes up, right? Oh my God, this pose, I hate this pose. Oh, why are we holding it so long? My arms are tired. Oh, my hip hurts. See if you can move beyond that. That's called getting out of your comfort zone. And that's exactly what yoga is inviting you to do, is to take a step out of your comfort zone. None of this stuff should be super hard, okay? It might be uncomfortable, it might be very uncomfortable, but most of this stuff is not super dangerous. It's not anything that's too crazy. This is just a low lunge. That's all that this is. So we're holding a low lunge and we're breathing. That's nothing earth-shattering. At least it shouldn't be for us. Okay, so we're just doing the best we can, breathing here, feeling this. Good. Exhale, hands down. Inhale the leg up and back, and exhale to down dog. All right, so from here, let's inhale to the top of a push-up. Okay, so everything's lined up. And then we'll exhale, bring our forearms to the ground for what we call a forearm plank. Okay, so we're hovering here. Now, one of the things to look out for this posture is this. Okay, so some people try and turn it into a down dog. Why do they do this? Why might you be doing this? Because this is easier than this. Simple as that. Okay, so notice if your hips are coming up, bring them down. Now, you don't want them down like that either, okay? But just see if you can bring them right between the ears and the shoulders. Make sure the shoulders are engaged. So again, not collapse. If you look at me, that's collapsed. Active breathing. Slow the breath down. All right, beautiful. From there, let's make our way back to down dog. So again, that's the forearm plank. And that's our baseline for the arm balances today. So if the arm balances are out of your reach, it's no problem, but just keep doing your forearm plank, okay? All right, inhale toes, exhale step, jump, float, front edge of the mat. Inhale, standing back bend, up and back. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale to half lift. You could also do crow pose here, right? If you know it already, Bakasana. And then exhale, bottom of the push-up. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, push up on your way back to downward facing dog. Okay, so let's continue now. So feet touch. Inhale, right leg up and back. Exhale, lunge. Let's bring both hands inside of the foot. Left knee can be up or down. Okay, so I'll leave that up to you. But if you can, come down to your forearms or elbows. This is called the lizard. What the lizard does is it tries to open up the tissues between the thigh and the pelvis and torso. So it's trying to open up any resistance there in the hip that influences the mobility of the thigh in opposition to the torso and the pelvis, okay? So once you're down here, once you're low enough, you should feel a stretch in your right leg and thigh. Now, as always, we want to breathe into that. So you're going to slow that breath down, breathe deep. Use the breath to release and relax tension in the body. Open up that hip. Okay. Let's return our hands to the ground. We inhale the leg up and back. Exhale, lunge. All right. Now pay attention. We're going to turn 180 degrees to face the back of the mat. Okay. So we're facing the back of the mat. We'll drop the knee. Inhale to Vinyasa, which we already learned. Okay. And then we exhale the hands down. Inhale the left leg up and back to three-legged dog. Make sure you know your left and your right. Okay. Exhale, lunge. Inhale, turn 180 degrees, front of the mat. Exhale the knee down. And inhale to Vinyasa again. Okay. Good. Now exhale, hands down and the hip back. So the hips are over the knee. Right leg is straight. The foot is flexed. The toes and the knee are pointing up. Our hands are in the ground. We're folding over the right leg. And we're just looking for that stretch like we did at the beginning of class. Okay, the back of the right thigh. So this is the half monkey pose. I used to call this half triangle, but I actually think half monkey is better because it's like an abbreviated version of Hanumanasana. Okay, so we're finding that stretch, breathing into it. You could do a split here if that's how far you need to go to find the stretch. Good. Let's inhale. We come forward, arms up. So low lunge. Exhale, hands down. Inhale, three-legged dog. And exhale, down dog. Again, you could do a vinyasa there if you wanted to, if you prefer. Totally up to you. Okay, so side two. Feet touch. We inhale, left leg up and back, three-legged dog. Exhale, lunge. Inhale, rotate 180 degrees to the back. Exhale, drop the knee, and then inhale to Vinyasa, low lunge. Good. Exhale those hands down. And then inhale the right leg up and back, three-legged dog. Exhale, lunge. Inhale, 180 degrees to the front. Drop the knee. Inhale, Vinyasa. And then this time, exhale, hands down, hips back, left leg straight, folding over. Breathe. All right, good. Let's inhale, come back to our low lunge position. Exhale the hands down. Inhale, left leg up and back. And again, exhale either straight to down dog, or you can do a vinyasa from there. So when I say vinyasa, that means low plank, up dog, and then push up back to down dog. Okay, so it's just a nice way to add some intensity and burn some extra calories, generate more heat. Okay, so we learned forearm plank. Let's do that again. So inhale, top of your push-up, and then just drop down to your forearms. Again, this is our baseline, so great core strengthener here. Great way to build core strength, back strength, core stability, shoulder strength, right? So feel free to stay here. If you're ready for more, you're going to walk your feet in. Okay, you're walking in as much as possible. Now again, my shoulders are active. I'm not collapsing in this. I'm pressing the ground away from me quite actively. Okay, but I'm trying to get my hips over my elbows, my hips over my shoulders over my elbows. Now, are you holding your breath? Don't hold your breath. Keep breathing. Are you clenching your jaw or furrowing your brow? Try and relax the face and the jaw. Listen to my voice. It's relaxed, right? My breathing is a little bit labored because honestly, it's hard to talk and do this at the same time. It's a little difficult. But you can tell I'm not hyperventilating like this, right? So I don't want you to be doing that either. Okay, from there, again, you can vinyasa, or you can just press yourself back to down dog, depending on how you're feeling. And then we'll inhale to the toes, fill the lungs. Exhale, front edge of the mat. Inhale, standing back bend, up and back. Exhale, forward fold. You can inhale to half lift, crow or handstand, and then exhale, bottom of your push-up. Make your way back to down dog. So I do recommend you do at least a few vinyasas during the class. So you can skip some, but try and do a few of them, even if you have to drop your knees, okay? All right, great work, everybody. So, continuing on, let's bring our feet to touch here. We inhale, right leg up and back. Exhale to a lunge. Let's bring both hands inside of that foot. Okay, so remember, lizard, this is very similar. But what we'd like to do here is take the right leg over the right shoulder. So it's kind of like a backpack. I'm putting the leg on like a backpack. I look up and I just try and lift my right heel off the ground, straightening the leg as much as possible. Now, when I teach this in person, some people can't lift the heel at all. That's okay. Just try and do it. See what happens. Okay, nothing might happen, and that's okay. At least you tried. That's what's important, that we try, not that we be able to do it, okay? All right, inhale the leg up and back. Exhale, lunge. Inhale, turn 180 degrees. right? So now you're facing the back of the mat. We inhale to Anjaneyasana. We exhale, rocking back into the half monkey pose. We inhale back into Anjaneyasana. Exhale the hands down, right? Inhale, left leg up and back. Exhale, lunge. Inhale, turn to face front again. Exhale there. And with the next inhale, let's come up into Ashta Chandrasana or crescent lunge, okay? So in crescent lunge, we do this one a lot, right? So it should be very familiar, but I'm still gonna go over the basics. So never assume that you have it perfect. Always be willing and open to refining what you're doing, okay? So front foot and knee straight ahead, the knee lunged over the heel, right thigh approaching parallel. So that's, you know, if I could, I would do it like this, right? But that's just, it's too much for me. But maybe you can go there. And then again, we got those arms up and back, that sense of vibrancy, aliveness, power, openness. That's really feel that. You can try it. Try this. How does it feel? It feels very different than this. Just try it, right? So a lot of people, again, they think, well, I feel more comfortable this way. That's the point. The point is to get you out of what's comfortable for you, what you're used to. So that's why we want to do this and not this, okay? So arms up, breath is deep. We're feeling the whole body here. Breathing into the whole body. Good. Exhale, bottom of the push-up, make your way back to downward dog. Okay, side two, feet touch. Inhale left. Exhale lunge. And bring both hands inside the foot. Take the left leg over the shoulder, right? Looking up, try and lift the left heel. It may or may not lift, but what's important is that you tried. Not that you were able to do it, but you tried your best. Okay, let's inhale that leg up and back. We exhale and lunge. Inhale, turn 180 degrees. Exhale the knee. Inhale, raise the arms up. So this, we call that low lunge on Anjaneyasana. Exhale the hands down. Rock the hips back, right? The half monkey. Inhale back to low lunge. Exhale the hands down. Inhale, right leg up and back. Exhale, lunge. Inhale, turn 180 degrees to the front. And then inhale, crescent lunge, Ashta Chandrasana. Good. So see if you can hold that for 5-6 breaths. Just really vibrant, alive, powerful. You know, and when the thought comes up, I have to drop my arms, I have to come out of this, it's too much. Just pause for a moment, question the thought. You're like, is that really true? If I was going to get $1 million for holding this posture, could I stay in it longer? I think I can. If someone was going to give me $1 million, I think I could keep holding this for a long time. Right? So it's a lot of times when we have the thought, I can't do this anymore, it's really not I can't. It's, again, something inside of me is trying to tell me I'm too weak or feeble or unable. But the truth is we're much stronger than we tend to believe. All right, deep breath, exhale, bottom to push up. We're going to make our way to downward dog. Great work, everybody. Great work. All right, so we're going to begin breaking down our crow pose. Okay, so again, if I'm not so secure in my crow, I can work on this, right? My forearm plank, right? If that feels easy, then I can start to work on this, which is the dolphin pose. Okay? So if I feel like dolphin's okay for me, if it's not that challenging, then the next step is from dolphin. First we want to do dolphin. Then I bend my knees, and I'll take my knees to the back of my arms. Or if you have a really long thigh bone, it's called your femur, right? So if you have a short torso and a really long thigh, then trying to get your knees into your arms or armpits might be really difficult or impossible because your leg is so long. So what you can do is hug the biceps, right? You can hug the deltoid here, the top of your arm. All right, either way is fine. So again, we're here on the forearms. We bring those legs in. Now look at me, please. Shoulders are active. Face close without touching. It might look like I'm touching the ground, but I'm not, okay? So my nose is like just above the ground. Now, from here, I want to see, can I lift one foot at a time? Can I lift one set of toes at a time? Okay? If I can, I feel okay, feel stable, then lift both sets of toes, bring the big toes to touch. Again, my face is not touching the ground. That's called a baby crow, baby Bakasana. Now, for some people, that's actually harder than crow pose because it requires a little more flexibility. So again, if you have plenty of strength, but not a lot of flexibility, that might actually be harder than crow. But it doesn't matter. Again, you can benefit by working your flexibility. Again, we benefit by trying to do these things, not by actually being able to do the final product, okay? It's sort of like if you were in woodworking class and every time you tried to complete a project, you got a little better at woodworking, even though the final product was never what you wanted it to be, right? So it's the practice that's really valuable. Okay, good job, everybody. So from here, we'll come back to our down dog. From down dog, we inhale to the toes, exhale, front edge of the mat. Inhale, standing back bend, up and back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, and exhale, bottom of your push-up. Make your way to down dog. All right, we're in the home stretch, everybody. So we're gonna do our most challenging variations in this set, okay? All right, so let's bring feet to touch. We inhale the right leg up and back. Exhale, lunge. Inhale, turn 180 degrees. Exhale the knee down. Inhale, arms up and back. Exhale, hands down, hips back, right? Monkey pose. Inhale, low lunge, Anjaneyasana, so arms up. Exhale the hands down. Inhale, left leg up and back. Exhale, lunge. Inhale, 180 degrees, right? Exhale there. And then inhale to crescent lunge. All right? Now from crescent, exhale to Virabhadrasana 3, Warrior 3 pose. I'm just going to step back a little bit here. Okay, so Warrior 3, left leg lifts up parallel with the ground. Torso parallel with the ground. Arms parallel with the ground, framing the ears. Left foot is flexed, toes, knee, and hip down. Reaching the left heel away from fingertips and the crown of the head. Relax the face and the jaw, deepen your breath. Good, deep breath, exhale, bottom of the push-up. Make your way to downward dog. Okay, that's a pose that we often use to work up to other poses, but today we're just sort of breaking everything back down to basics, okay? Okay, so feet touch. Inhale, left leg. Exhale, lunge. Inhale, turn 180 degrees, so the back of the mat. Exhale the knee down. Inhale to low lunge with the arms up. Exhale, rock the hips back, so half monkey pose. Inhale, rock the hips forward, arms up, low lunge. Exhale the hands down. Inhale, left leg up and back. Exhale, lunge. Inhale, 180. Exhale. And then inhale, crescent lunge, right? And then exhale, warrior 3, Virabhadrasana 3. Good. Take a deep breath. Exhale, bottom of your push-up. Make your way back to downward facing dog. All right, great work. So let's take another look at the arm balance. So again, for some of you, you will be repeating this perhaps for the 4th time. Great way to build upper body strength, core strength, right? Working on that slow, deep breathing. For some of you, you might be doing this for the 1st time or 2nd time or 3rd time, right? The dolphin. So again, building that strength, getting used to being in an inverted position. Great training for inversions. For some of you, you might be trying this again. The baby crow, baby Bakasana, right? Getting used to having the weight of your body borne by the arms and the shoulders, right? Great training for arm balancing. And then if you feel ready, let's try the full-blown crow pose. Let's break it down bit by bit, okay? So some of you already know this, which is awesome. Again, if you already know it, get into it and try taking 10, 15, 20 breaths there, holding it. It will be a workout, trust me. It will be a challenge, okay? So if you don't know it, we want the arms in this position. These are called chaturanga arms. What does that mean? Those are the arms we have at the bottom of our push-up. That's called chaturanga dandasana, okay? You notice the arms are the same. So the arms are bent to about a 90-degree or right angle. I also stack shoulders, elbows, wrists, right? So it's not chicken arms, elbows out, or anything like that, or hands wide. Everything is stacked, and that is very, very important in terms of the physics of what's going on. This is really just physics. It's just weight and balance and counterbalance and things like that, okay? So I stack everything up, and then what I like to do is lift my hips up. Notice that my arms stay bent. So I'm lifting my hips way up, and I place my hands on the ground. Again, about shoulder width apart. Notice my arms are still bent, right? Now I look up, and then I try and do what we did earlier. I try and just lift one foot up. And what I'm looking for is that the arm does not collapse under the weight of my leg. So if it collapsed, it would look like this, okay? Or you're looking for that not to happen. If that's happening, then again, do your forearm plank, do the bottom of a push-up, work on chaturanga dandasana, strengthen those arms. Now, once you can do one leg at a time, eventually see if you can do both feet together. Now, for some people, it's going to be lack of strength. For some, it could be lack of flexibility. Maybe you can't get those knees up. I doubt that. I think for most people, it's lack of strength, could be lack of balance, again, inner ear. And then for some people, it's actually just going to be lack of confidence or fear, for lack of a better way of putting it. You're so afraid of face planting that you never bring enough weight forward. So every time you lift your feet, you fall backward, right? Again, like I said earlier, it's just physics. When I have equal weight forward and backward of my wrists, nothing else can happen but balancing, right? But if I don't have confidence that I'm going to be able to balance or hold myself, then I will be very reluctant to commit. So that's also worth considering. Okay, so maybe you put up a bunch of pillows in front of you and take away the fear element and see if that helps. Okay. All right, great work, everybody. So let's unwind now. Just make your way onto your back. Let's bring those legs in, give them a nice squeeze. Make some circles. Come rock side to side or forward and back. Good, and then we'll extend our arms. We're going to drop both knees to the left as we look to the right. Let's release any kind of breathing techniques at this point. Good, we'll inhale knees through center. Let's take them off to the other side. Look away from the knees. Good, we inhale knees back to center. Grab the soles of the feet. Happy baby. So again, use this to help release or relax any lingering tension or imbalance, whether that came from doing the practice or something you brought with you into the practice that maybe we didn't address for whatever reason, right? So I think this is extremely versatile and flexible in terms of what we can get into here in this shape. Okay, when you are finished with that, take your time, but when you're finished, let's come into corpse. So the palms are up, head centered, chin tucked in slightly, eyes closed. And again, I'll remind everybody, in yin, the way that we do yin on Friday, it's not as important in this class, especially if you're feeling tired afterwards, if you are, maybe really sore the next day or whatever it is, then see if just adding a little more relaxation doesn't solve the problem for you. So I really recommend 5 or 6 minutes here. Just set your timer on your watch or your phone and see if you can just let your body surrender to gravity for the next 5, 6 minutes.